Ascending to peak performance takes strength, character, and an understanding how emotions affect the outcome of the game. We're about to go full throttle and supercharge your performance. Get ready to thrive from the inside. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big welcome to Gregg Steinberg.
And people call that the miracle flight of 1549. Well, let me tell you, there was nothing miraculous about that flight. There was nothing miraculous about that flight because Captain Sullenberger had prepared for this one particular moment for the last 20 years. He had listened to recorders of crashed planes, and he listened to the erroneous decisions of those pilots, and he realized that they made bad decisions because their emotions were out of whack. And so he created a U.S. Air Safety course in which he trained pilots to master their emotions, to be emotionally prepared so they would make the right decision. And he trained himself for thousands of hours to be emotionally prepared so that he would make the right decision when it really counted. And we all know he made the right decision when he really counted. And that's why he saved all those lives.
I'll also say that this is very interactive. So even though I'm doing it with Jeff, I want you to think about what we're doing up here and relate it back to your life, because the more interactive you use it, the better it's going to work for you once you leave this room. So Jeff, let's talk about your best state, your prime emotional state. So just describe to everybody one of your best states.
Ultimately, we rescued about 22 people off the side of this mountain. The interesting thing is that we could not land on the top of the mountain, so we had to land at the bottom of the mountain, and I had to get out with my medic and go up the mountain on foot and carry people and work people coming down. So that was what I look back on my life as one of my sort of prime states of, like Captain Sullenberg, have to make a decision that you want to get to the top of the mountain, but you can't.
So think about you, same thing. What were the 5 levels? And if you capture those 5 levels, you'll get a kind of a handle more on your emotions related to your best state. We have an inner caddy. And our inner caddy can be kind and nurturing and good. And our inner caddy can be negative and destructive. But we also have inner caddies for business. And in these tough economic times, many of our inner caddies have turned to the dark side. And now we tell ourselves, we're not going to make those quotas. This is unfair. I hate change. I don't like my boss. I don't like those clients. Those clients don't like me. Why don't we fire that bad inner caddy in a heartbeat? Well, in a lot of cases, that has become a habit. But what I've learned in my 20 years working with professional athletes, consulting business executives, is that all these successful people fire their bad inner caddy in a heartbeat, and they train and retrain and retrain and retrain their good inner caddy. Joel Osteen came to Nashville. And if you're not familiar with Joel, he's this famous televangelist, right? He's on TV, he speaks in Houston, and he's got a great message, and my wife really likes him. And I think he's got a great message, but he has a huge, huge following. And being a professional speaker, I wanted to see what his charisma was all about. So I went to see him with my wife. Well, I saw right away, it was his mother. His mother got on stage, and she's 5'0". She's got this great ball of energy, and she starts talking, and she said, 20 years ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. And the doctor gave me 6 months to live. So she started doing chemo, and her hair started falling out, and she started feeling sick. And she said, I didn't want to feel sick. I didn't want to look sick. So what I did was I took these pictures of my best, healthiest state, and I put them all over the house. And every day, 10 times a day, 20 times a day, I would point at these pictures and say, you are healthy, you are healthy, you are healthy. And she said, today, I'm cancer-free. And the butterfly effect was proposed by a scientist in the 1960s. And he said, the flapping of the wings of a butterfly can create weather changes across the globe. and everybody laughed at him, and you're probably thinking, that's kind of silly. And when I heard about that, I thought that was kind of silly. But in the 1990s, the scientists supported the principle of the butterfly effect. And that is, small changes on one side of the world can have a huge impact in terms of weather on the other side of the globe. And life is like that. You are the butterfly effect. When you have small changes in your life, like turn pressure into pleasure, like fire your bad inner caddy and train and retrain your good inner caddy, that can have a huge impact in your life. My vision tonight was to give you the strategies and techniques and tools so that you could coach yourself to greatness, so that when the trials and the tribulations and all the things that drain you and distract you and cause all the pressure in your life, you'll be able to coach yourself to be at your best when it really counts in every situation for the rest of your life. So I thank you for your time and your energy. Enjoy the book.